Are you someone who's thinking of getting an MBA degree in the US, or you are already enrolled into one and you're worried about what to expect? Well, then I am sharing my top 5 lessons that nobody tells you about getting an MBA in the US and how you can use this expensive piece of paper to get you hired. I am Tanu. I moved to the US about 5 years ago to enroll into my dual masters, one of them being an MBA, and I graduated in 2023, so pretty recent, and then I got placed as a consultant with one of the top banks in the US. It was not at all simple managing my visa, applying through admissions process, selecting my school, and then getting a job and beyond. So there were definitely things I wish someone had told me so I could make better decisions for myself. So I am breaking those lessons down today for you all. I definitely came here thinking that MBA was just about learning the business stuff, but I was so wrong. This degree changed me as a person in ways I did not expect. Some good things, some made me really uncomfortable, and some made me question everything, even like coming here in the first place. So today I am focusing on the learnings, but if you really want to know my personal take on whether it was all worth it or not, let me know, and I think I will create another video as a second part to it. Let's start with the biggest wake-up call, and honestly the most valuable part of the entire program, and one of the reasons why I wanted to study in the US. Lesson number 1. You're not just learning business, you are learning how the rest of the world thinks. Let me tell you, I thought I knew everything about people from different backgrounds because before coming to the US I was into tech consulting. And so I was working with people from America, Europe, Australia, but I had only touched the surface with the conversations, and I did not realize that face-to-face conversations will have a totally different experience. So here in the US, like, diversity is it's not just a word, like it really has meaning. That I realized when I got into the room with people from 30 different nationalities. And here's what happened. Like, first week of classes, like, we are studying economics and data analysis and marketing. And I'm like, I've got this. I've done this 100 times and I know how to analyze the data and everything. But then I got into a team to work on a project, because MBA is not about working alone. You have to work in groups. And I remember being so overwhelmed and nervous in my first session, being in a room full of strangers I know nothing about. And then this guy from Africa is talking something that is totally sounding French to me, and everyone is asking different questions you've never heard of before. So, like, that's where the real learning happened for me, in those small groups, which actually like rewired my brain completely. And then it hit me, like, the more diverse your experience in school, like, the better outcomes you will have, not just like in business but overall development. So I think, like, the real lesson here is this will only work like if you're open to being challenged. If you're sitting in class and you're like just thinking, oh, this is not the right fact, you're just thinking about your next assignment, like, you're missing the point. Like, the goal is to expand that mindset and consume like different perspectives that we've never sort of had a chance to learn from before. So yes, initially I got really uncomfortable, but with the right guidance and support, and just learning and observing from around the people that I was with, I got comfortable. And in my first semester, I just made sure to like really have a diverse group so that I can have that experience worldview within my learnings, and it was really fun. Lesson number 2. How much you believe in yourself will make or break your entire experience, and unfortunately the school you pick and the staff can also either build you up or tear you down. This is also like one of the hard truths that I've seen nobody talk about during their glossy admission process. Your MBA experience is actually heavily dependent on the environment you choose, like from location to facilities, from people working in it, because if they don't care about you, then you are in a bad spot. And sometimes even the best schools in rankings can have a negative impact. So from what I understand is that a good program will challenge you and push you to grow. So if you really want to get like the best experience from the school, then watch out for some of the red flags and green flags. I think some of the green flags that will change your life is the study groups. That should not feel like a competition. It should feel like friends, a family away from home. The alumni, if you reach out to them, are they like genuinely willing to help you succeed? Do they really care about you? Career services that understand the challenges you face, because international students need more help than others. So are they really guiding you? What is their success rate exactly? And having a diverse faculty who will bring like different perspectives to teaching. So yeah, I would say like research the culture of the program. Don't just look at the rankings. Talk to like current international students and seniors who've passed out of the school before making that decision. Ask like hard questions, like how you support students who don't fit into the traditional mold, and validate their responses. That's when you'll get the real picture. And to help you get a better picture of selecting schools, I have created a free checklist on what you need to know before you make that final decision of opting into an MBA, and I will link that in the description and comments section for you to check it out. Lesson number 3, your alumni network is not just nice to have. It can literally determine your career trajectory for the next 5 to 10 years. They not only help you form right connections for jobs, but some of them can become your good friends, and they will help you understand the culture, the interview processes in a new country. Some of the alumni from my school like invited me to lunches, they showed me around, they helped me find jobs in their companies, also give me a reference. One of my friends connected me to like one of her managers, and boom, I was on the call with the director the next week. So yeah, like this really opens up a lot more opportunities that might not have come my way, without being part of this network. So choose your community intentionally. Not all MBA programs have strong communities. So if you're currently pursuing an MBA degree, then let me know in the comment section which university are you a part of and how's that community around you. You can actually also test this before enrolling by just messaging people on LinkedIn and finding and talking to the alumni and asking how's their experience been, and you can just see like how they respond to your LinkedIn messages. If you need a LinkedIn template of how to network, I have linked that in one of my previous videos, so I'll put the link in this video as well. Lesson number 4, you are going to learn skills that have nothing to do with business but everything to do with success. And nobody told me that MBA is basically a boot camp for soft skills and leadership development, and it's really not about getting that highest GPA. And honestly, these life skills are what employers actually care about much more than your scores and certificates. So let me break down what I really learned. I used to think that I could do everything myself, and honestly I often could, but in MBA programs the problems are too complex and the timelines are too tight, and it is not possible like for one person to complete everything in that amount of time. So you really need to ask for help. You really need that support from your team or from your peers, and that's also like one strategy that we developed during our MBA program. But that was one thing that was the most useful, because I thought that asking help is really like weak, a weak person would do it, but no, asking help is a sign of strength. And that is what you learn during your MBA program. I think another important thing that I learned was, if somebody is giving me feedback on something, it's not that I'm really like wrong in it. It's just to make your perspective change or to make it broader so that you consider other things as well. And this might be really familiar to people who are not used to getting feedbacks. So in a business school, you actually get constant feedback from your classmates, from your team members, from professors. And what I learned was like to really listen and extract value out of it instead of letting my ego get hurt or in the way. And I think another important thing that I really learned was that because you don't get to choose your team members in most classes, and in real life you also don't get to choose your colleagues. So like you really learn to find common ground if you don't like someone, and you learn to like leverage everyone's strengths and get the results even when there are like personality clashes. I think that's one skill that you don't really learn anywhere else. So yeah, skills like adapting, collaborating, and staying calm under pressure is what makes MBA grads valuable in today's market. And not just because we know marketing and this and that, but because we can also like work with anyone and get things done. That's why also employers hire you, and that's why MBA becomes valuable in certain parts. I think this lesson number 5 is also very important. Don't be a backbencher. So an MBA, it just changes your resume. It changes how you see yourself and the possibilities that are ahead of you. Before business school, I thought small. I thought about like getting a job, climbing into management, earning a good salary. But after business school, not like instantly, but in a few months, I was thinking of bigger problems in the industry, bigger situations that I could add value to in my company, and what transformations could I possibly do in people's lives. And so I think that mindset shift is valuable when you are surrounded by people who are like launching startups and pivoting entire companies and making that social initiative possible. You start to believe that you can also do these things. I think it's called the network effect on confidence. When your classmates are becoming like entrepreneurs and industry leaders, the success is kind of normalized, and you stop thinking like I could never do that. Instead, you think maybe I should also try it. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm doing this YouTube channel. So it's really the confidence shift. Like you stop seeing yourself someone who just needs a job, who needs help, but you start seeing yourself as someone who can solve bigger problems and make things better. So yeah, I would just say that like don't aim to graduate, and just if you want like to take full advantage out of that MBA program, then just use it as an experience and an added experience into your life. Take on impossible group projects and push yourself and put yourself forward for opportunities that actually make you nervous and scare you a little bit. So why employers actually hire MBA graduates? So let me tell you that it's not always like what you think. What I realized is that it is a fancy degree, so there's definitely like an element of prestige when companies introduce you, to clients or partners. So like, this is Tanu, MBA from XYZ school. That sounds pretty impressive versus, this is Tanu she's done her bachelor's in science or whatever. So, that's like MBA is like a stamp of credibility that will open many doors, not just for yourself, but also for some of the companies. MBAs, they are actually valued in larger organizations because larger organizations have like complex processes, and some sort of an influence to get things done is important, where I think MBA folks are pretty good. At least on the paper, it is said that, it is believed that way. So employers assume that MBA graduates can handle those complex projects and these complex processes, and leadership roles, and so that kind of makes the company look good in important meetings, and it's kind of like a trust factor you've already built from day one. I think another important thing is definitely like the skills that we bring in, like the communication, collaboration, leadership skills. All this is something that we work on during our MBA, so we already know. So employers know that they will need less time training you on how to like work with teams and do make some presentations and manage projects, because you've already done the work within the 2 years. And also, like when it comes to like international students doing MBA programs, you know that you are only person from your country in a room who's going to have to navigate a lot of cultural references, and but this is now become normal for you because you've been practicing that for 2 years. So you are kind of comfortable in uncomfortable situation, and that's one skill that is really valuable to the employers who need a person who knows how to handle uncertain situations. I think another advantage why MBA graduates are often hired is because since we have gone through that leadership development program and kind of taken on that fast track career path, companies know that they need to invest in you differently because they already expect that you can handle bigger responsibilities. And kind of they know that they can give you more responsibilities faster than the rest of the other people. But of course, all this is definitely dependent on if you've actually learned some lessons in your MBA and you are willing to deliver the outcomes that are expected out of you. So the MBA will definitely open some doors, but you still need to prove yourself at every step possible once you are through that door. So like the employers who hired me, they weren't just like impressed because I had an MBA degree, but because I was able to timely deliver on complex problems. I had a different thinking approach to the challenges in everyday situations, and how quickly I was able to learn and deliver strategically on the projects. So yeah, in a nutshell, basically, if you can handle ambiguity, you can work across cultures, you can communicate well and solve problems faster than everyone else, then you will be seen as, so you're kind of like expected to have learned these skills over time, and this will provide a lot of opportunity to develop them further and help you stand out in the long run. So yeah, final thoughts. I think I would just advise everyone that don't do an MBA because you think you should or because everyone else is doing it. Do it if you have clear goals in your mind and you know for sure that an MBA will help you achieve those goals. Feel free to reach out to me if you have more questions around that, and I would be happy to help, because once you do decide to do an MBA, it's going to be a lot of effort. Your time for 1 or 2 years will be gone. It will not come back, and it is definitely heavy on the pocket. So see if it's worth for you, if it's the right thing for you to do, and then go ahead and make that decision. So hopefully this video helped at least one person today. And if this did help you through somewhere in your MBA journey, so please hit that like and subscribe button, because I have a lot more to talk about in my upcoming videos about career growth and life as an international professional student here in the US. So drop a comment and let me know what MBA program are you considering and what's your biggest challenge right now. And go ahead and download that guide that I talked about. It will have a lot of quick things that you should consider before enrolling into an MBA program. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.